Hello there, and welcome back to Let's Play Sins of a Solar Empire. We're on part 2 now, and I think I've got this set to widescreen. And what we've got here, another ice planet. And I think we had plans for colonizing that as soon as we could. That's a gas giant, not colonizable, but it does have asteroids around it that we could take. Now, and I think what we want to do is establish our border going from Coronis up to Harma, get this asteroid, this desert planet, and that Terran planet, and I want that to be my borders if I can get that far. So we're gonna line ourselves up ready to take this desert planet. I think that was desert, no, ice. I knew what I meant. And somebody, I think it was Fairy Goose, reminded me you can rename these things, and he said he wanted the Planet Cracker type ship. So who should we name this one? We'll give this to one of my older subscribers. He comments a lot and he's always kind of around. I'm sure everyone knows him by now. So this is the King W. Bush now. My first capital ship. And we're going to go off and grab that ice planet, like I said. And we're also going to try and get some more military research done, because I think we will last in military research. Let's see. Illuminator will have one of those. Defense. We need more shields as well. There we go. So that's quite a bit of our resources just sunk into research for now. Just jump, go. And 9 ships plus a capital ship, they should have no problem taking out what's over there. Although we will probably lose a couple of the disciples. I think while I've got the money here, I'll pour some into voting for my enemy to be attacked by the pirates. And you know what, we'll watch this from King W. Bush's perspective, but I don't particularly want him colonizing just yet, because I think there is some siege frigates in this system. Yep, there's 2. Sent him after this Javelus here. I think I mentioned this in the last Let's Play, but these things have got quite high damage. They are quite fragile though compared to some of the other ships. I'm not sure if that's for the sake of balance or just because they aren't a mainline fighter, but hopefully King W. Bush will take this thing out without too much trouble. And he just leveled up. It looks like our frigates are in quite a fight at the moment. Causes affected enemies to suffer damage whenever anyone... Oh well, we'll have some of that. Some malice.
All bounty has been depleted.
Not sure what that is, but that's one hell of a missile. Unless that was just part of an explosion. Looks like the disciples are holding their own up there. Lovely, there goes one of their ships. I think we just blew up another one of them. Fighter squadron's getting its ass kicked because there's got a flak frigates in there. But that's to be expected. Sending fighters against a flak ship. No, I don't want you attacking, colonizing, or... Yeah, I don't want you colonizing yet. I'm going to send everyone after this other Javelus. It's the most high damage ship in the area. Once this is gone, we've got a lot less to worry about. We can't exactly keep just staring at that battle, though I do need to keep an eye on the other things that are happening. And what's this? 3 more crystal asteroids. So we're actually quite low on metal resources in our side of the galaxy. I'm not sure if that's going to be for everybody or just for me. Yeah, next I want that flak frigate targeted. It's taking out my fighters. And now all of those ships will be taking damage because of that malice effect. That's quite a useful thing to have. Let's see, fleet logistics. Let's have another one of each of those so we can get more ships and some more capital ships. Tell you what, we'll zoom into this thing here. These Kroskov siege frigates are quite dangerous. Obviously not to other ships, but if you colonize, it can just about wipe out your colony before you can destroy it. If you have your ships go to auto-colonize. There we go, this planet is pretty much ours now, and King W. Bush leveled up again. So we'll give him more shield regeneration, I think. We'll wait for this planet and sink all of our money and resources into upgrading this. Let's see how much, not enough antimatter, how much does it need? Antimatter costs 90. How much does this ship have with it now at the moment? 43. So that might take a while. So in the meantime, we found the final enemy up here. And they are definitely the same as us. So no Vasari this time. How long is this going to take? Well, it's at 70 now, so it's not going to take long before we have that planet. You know, I think we'll explore that planet. No point letting all these resources go to waste when we could find like some kind of funky artifact somewhere. And there's a scout frigate here. Obviously you can't just go straight through the planet, although fighters seem to be able to just go straight over it. Looks like these guys are all back in formation again. And we just claimed this planet. That's lovely. This scout frigate is probably going to escape. But we have more pressing concerns right now.
Scryers have located a divine artifact.
I think what we're actually going to do is sell some of our crystal, because we have just quite a fair amount of that.
Knowledge acquired.
Let's see here. What can I get from Harmony? Unity Indoctrination, I'll have some of that. Basically what that does is converts enemy cultures to our way of thinking. And makes them betray the people who actually started the colony, so we can get a colony for free. And I'm all about the free colonies. Let's see, we lost 4 of our disciple ships, it looks like. We'll leave our fleet there for now. It's only one jump back to the home world, so it's not a pressing concern to be right here.
Scrying a planet has revealed nothing.
How are we doing on hostility? Well, we have a few more ship designs that we can have, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Is the Guardian. But I need research in that. You see how the research trees are all linked. You can't do everything straight off the bat.
Knowledge acquired.
And just don't quite have enough money for this. There we go. And then I want that next. The Guardian, which is the cruiser version of the Disciple. Just a vastly superior ship.
Planet development complete.
And did we actually, I think is it research and then artifacts, we found a phase accelerator, in system phase jump speed 50%, phase jump charge up rate 25%. So we've got faster phase jumping. I'm assuming we got that from Menabry. we've already fully explored our home world, so it might even be from there. I thought Higiria, I thought that said Higara there. I thought Homeworld 2 was coming back to haunt me a bit more. Where we are now is a fairly good starting position. We have 4 planets, and we're doing okay on research now, I think. Yep, we have the smallest fleet though, so we're going to have to work on that. I don't particularly fancy being the weakest person. Yeah, but we don't have any credits yet, or not enough to do anything substantial. Because even though I've researched the or upgraded this planet, you'll see it's got the spaceports on, but there's no cars or anything travelling around yet, because the population is only 29 million out of 160 million. So it'll still take a while before that planet is actually earning me any decent amounts of money. So if we go to this system on this planet directly, where its population is still only 109 out of 160 on this one, but that is enough that it should yeah, it's got all its kind of space traffic going on. See, do we have no new artifacts? No new anything, to be completely honest. I've just started research there on another new ship, the space station ship.
Scrying a planet has revealed nothing.
Hopefully we'll get some space stations up soon. Let's see, how are we doing on hostility? There we go, get research on the Guardian. And then what other capital ship do we want? Because Fairy Goose asked if he could have one, and he asked for a specific one, and I'm assuming, is it this one? Able to support? No. No. I'm assuming it's that one, the Radiance battleship, that he wanted, because he said the one with all the guns, and the other ones said support ships, and that one said battleships, so it sounds like it's got more guns. That's the important part. But how much are these cruisers? 525 a piece. We don't actually have them researched yet, so it can't build it until we've actually completed the research, which shouldn't be too long. But we'll get some of them to reinforce the fleet. And is it a cruiser that we need? Yes. No, where is it? It's that one. We need 2,000, and then I think we need another 2,000 to actually turn that from a cruiser into a starbase. I do think I'd already mentioned this, but my resources are a bit slower than you'd normally see in a Let's Play, but that's because I like not being able to instantly replenish everything. Crusader. It was the Crusader I liked, not the Guardian. But never mind, we have it now, it's there. We have extra cruisers. Upgrade our lasers a little bit more. I think now we're going to save up and just get a starbase on our home world. These ships aren't particularly, these Guardians aren't particularly powerful, but they are extremely hard to kill, if I remember rightly. It's the whole point of these, is that they have huge amounts of shields. It's basically a mobile shield generator with a few guns attached.
May the Unity watch over us.
There it is, and you can see it's got over 1,000 shields, and it's got a few lasers on. I'm not sure where they are, but that's our new cruiser in all its glory.
Do not be afraid.
I doubt it'll be able to catch that scout frigate now, but we'll give it a little test. No, that scout frigate's away. There's no way he's catching that. Never mind. Let's stop him from moving so he doesn't run out of the solar system.
May the Unity watch over us.
High security protocol. I don't even know what that means. Now then, this planet here. I think I turned this planet into basically a research station. Yes, I did. And it's full, logistics slots wise. So we're basically just going to leave this place alone now with its temples of hostility. And I think we're going to go over to Higara here. I'm going to call it that now, even though that's not what it's actually called. And we're going to build... Well, we're going to build one temple of hostility, apparently. Temple of harmony. I knew what I meant. Because I want to get the trade depots and mobile refineries researched so we can upgrade all of our income. Wasn't such a big deal with the tech because obviously they focused on getting income. But these guys aren't as efficient at earning money and resources as the tech are. That was, after all, their business, not war. I doubt they're going to get another pass on that. It's probably going to jump into phase space soon.
Complete.
And we really are getting metal at a dismal rate. Do we have anything to improve our metal harvesting yet? Divination. Rich ore. Metal extraction. Let's have some of that.
Insufficient metal.
Insufficient metal to do it again. There we go. So we've improved our metal harvesting a little bit. I'm going to pour the rest of our money back into that enemy again. And we have two Guardians here. I'm going to have them link up with the other fleet. There's no point in them being sat around useless. Once that temple's done, can we research? We're on Harmony now. Where is it? Trade depot. Yes, we can. We need a little bit more money and resources for that though. But once we have that, we can focus more on the fleet because we'll have more resources for the fleet. And I think that's just about it. No, we need 100 metal. Well, we're just about to 100 metal. Lovely. So we'll get us some interplanetary trade when they're done with the metal research. Until then, we'll get some more ships for the fleet. Maybe even save up and get a space station. I'd been meaning to get one of those. But I'm not sure whether I want it on my home world, or this ice planet here, Obrant. Okay, that's Hugh Grant now.
Our fleet has arrived.
Okay, we've got one metal extraction upgrade at least. There's not really much going on right now, and I'm not sure if you would want to see all the build up and that kind of stuff, or would you rather I skip this? I'll leave it in for this episode, and you can just let me know. And we still need to explore this planet as well.
Do not
For now, let's just get the fleet lined up there.
The Unity senses a pirate raid is inevitable.
And pirate raiders are just about to leave, so we'll pour a little bit of money into those. Almost done with that. How are we on security? I can get hangar defense, homing mines, enduring devotion. Okay, I've got no idea what that means, but it sounds like we just get to keep a planet if we've still got a starbase around it, instead of them just ignoring the starbase and taking the planet. Looks like these guys up here are quite they're expanding quite quickly, because I'm imagining they've got that and probably one or two more planets, so they might be our main rivals this time. And it's actually the other versions of us, or at least, no, that was a fight last time there. They might be the tech. I'm pretty sure they're the other versions of us, and we have tech there. Ooh, I don't think so. You know, just to be safe. That was probably a waste of money, but I really don't want that guy outbidding me. The problem is, you see, once you've got so much money onto somebody, they'll send more and more pirates, and eventually you physically can't keep up with what the pirates want from them, because they're constantly draining it, and the enemy is constantly putting more bounty on you. So it's sometimes better to just switch who you're putting bounty on after a little while. One Seeker vessel, and it looks like we actually caught it, but I missed it. And do these even use auto attack?
Do not be afraid.
Shield projection, attack. Yeah, they've got auto attack, but it looks like they're more of a defensive ship. Let's see here, what is it? Hostility. What else was I researching? There was something else I wanted. No, it was in Harmony, wasn't it? It's the trade ports. Because I'll have one of these up here as soon as I can. Although I do want one of those steel enemy, you know, hearts and minds, that kind of stuff. Shock and awe. And an interplanetary trade depot, that's lovely. That'll come in handy. I'm not sure if we have 2 construction drones or just the one. Looks like just one. Huh, that is a frontline fighting ship apparently.
Knowledge acquired.
So we'll let him get on with that. Now then, I'm getting pretty sick of these Seeker vessels turning up all over my land.
More credits are required.
Well, apparently they get placed crappy places as well, but never mind. At least they're there. And this thing just took quite a bit of damage. Not sure if it was by the fighters, or if it had that damage when it came in. I can't imagine the fighters doing this much damage on their own. But hopefully they can at least finish them off. Yep, they did. I think I'll actually have my starbase here in between these 2 entry points when I eventually get round to building that, because I keep spending my money on other things when I really shouldn't. So I need 2 grand and 350 metal. But I also need another trade depot over here to make it worth my while having one at the other place. Obviously you can't trade on one depot, so we'll put another one up. Now this thing will start sending out signals to the other planets. You see the green line there? And obviously the further away it gets, the less effect it has. And you can put more than one in each system, and you can have them in more than one system. And some people do just kind of turtle up behind their defences and let this do all the fighting for them. But that would make for a pretty boring Let's Play. You know, I do think it's time we got back on the move with our fleet. But I really want one of those. But we just don't have the credits to be blown on that right now. So I think we'll take a couple of illuminators, and we're out of metal. That's going to be a problem. Sell a bunch of crystal, buy a bunch of metal. Oh, I just sold my metal. Never mind.
Construction finished.
Okay, so their trade port's done already. But this trade drone has nowhere to go. So it's going to wait patiently until this one over here is done. Which doesn't have too long left.
Construction.
There we go. And now these will start earning us some money. Now then, I do need some more ships still for the fleet. Let's get a couple of defense vessels, a couple of siege vessels. I do plan on turning this into a mainline battle fleet, so I want a pretty varied fleet in there. Now in these illuminators, although they are supposed to be artillery, you can see these, they have 3 beams here, so they can only use at best 2 of them while they're at the outside of a ring. So it's best to put these right in the centre of a battle, rather than keeping them away like you would with a Javelus, or the equivalent Vasari ship.
No swarm untouched.
You see here my influence is spreading, slowly but surely. And this defense vessel, basically what this is a flak frigate. It'll take out the enemy fighter squadrons. Tends to be overlooked by human players, but those bombers can really mess up your capital ships, so it is good to have at least a couple of them. And now look, even this little trade drone, the amount of detail on this thing, and it's not even really a ship, you can't control it or do anything with it. It just kind of bimbles around your territory, and it'll trade with your allies if you have any. Let's see here. Not exactly a strong fleet yet, but we'll get there. Let's see here, what do we have that barely takes any metal? Seeker vessels and disciples. I do want at least one more purge vessel though. They're basically planet nuking things. My version of the Yakuva scout frigate, what is it man? The siege frigate that the tech have and the minor factions tend to use.
Heathens will be purged.
Oh, and somebody's put a bid on me again. Like I said, occasionally it's best to just go into pirates and pick somebody else to bid on, such as these guys who are expanding a lot. But obviously I'll have to surpass my bid with them to get the pirates to even pay attention to my other bid. See how I am on. I'm 4th on defenses now. So the other planets they're shoring themselves up after their rapid expansion.
Heathens will be purged.
And that's what a purge vessel looks like. Kind of a little bit like a coat hanger of doom. They are kind of funky, like a boomerang or a coat hanger or that half moon kind of shape. I quite like them though. They're quite useful. I always forget to do this normally, get the purge vessels in a fleet, but I always regret it later. There we go, so we've got a bid on them now.
Strength and unity.
And here come the disciple vessels. That's lovely. It's always nice to see more frontline fighters. Although now I'm finding it hard to find something to focus on. I do want more health for my ships. So I think what we'll do is try and grab another planet or 2 before they're all taken. I do want that. That's a dead asteroid. That means there's nothing we can do with that. And even if we do colonize it, the best we can do is make it break even, money-wise. So it might be that I've got a break in my lines here, and I really didn't want that. So it might just be that we use that as a just an outpost. So like I said, I want that to be my territorial line.
Strength and unity.
And it looks like that's what we're adding to the fleet
Is
for
it
now.
time? Without delay.
Can't believe we went from like last to second that quickly. And we're first on capital ships, but we only have one. So I assume that means we are drawn first with everybody else, because the computer does take advantage of that first free capital ship. Let me see if I can illustrate a point here with these artillery ships. See if I can find one. There we go.
We are sworn to avenge.
See if we can even get them to fire this time. No, that scout ship's long gone.
Command us.
Oh well. We'll get these guys to link up with the other fleet.
The light. Knowledge acquired.
Now then. Let's get to work on a space station. And that is one weird ass looking ship. Seriously, who the hell designed that?
Our fleet has arrived.
Looks like something you need to get a cream to fix. Now it's there we go. So we'll get this ship up there. Not sure how slow or quick this thing is. I'm imagining it's not exactly fast. It looks even weirder when you look at it flat, because even its little prong things aren't flat. It's not exactly a smart ship either. Flew right into an asteroid. Okay, so let's link this into one fleet and have them facing that way, so anything that jumps through will hopefully just get shot in the face. And it decided to turn around. Lovely. You are brilliant. I don't see how I'm considered second on fleet with something this small, but I'm not going to question it too much. Just means that the enemy isn't exactly prepared for war yet either. There we go, he's finally just about past the planet. Like I said, I'm going to have this guy in between these two inward wells. It's probably best to have him facing the wormhole now that I think about it, because we can always hold this planet fairly easily. It's only got one in slot.
The Unity senses a pirate raid is inevitable.
Okay, let's have him do that there. Is this how he's going to turn himself into a starbase, by looking straight down? Because I assumed these were just destroyed. Oh, that's quite a nice looking starbase.
The price on our head has increased.
Okay, what was I in the middle? Oh, don't think so. Why does everyone always bid on me for the pirates? I've never understand why they don't just bid on each other. It would make life much easier for me. And obviously that should be my enemy's top priority, is making things easier for me. Just keep my eyes on this for the last little bit. Because I really don't want to be outbid at the last second. The computer will try and do that. It's like it's bid on eBay before. It waits until the very last second. Okay, I'm not sure if his number just went up or down, but it definitely changed. So it might be the computer's actually bidding on this guy.
Pirate raiders have departed.
There, lovely. And while I was busy, I think, yep, we're going to get a Radiance battle cruiser. That's going to be nice to have on our side. So then, we need to pick a new planet to go and take. And I'm tempted to go for this volcanic planet, so we need the research for that. It's not hard to get, there we go. We'll have it by the time we get there. But I do want this starbase operational before I leave this planet again.
Construction finished.
Lovely. And we can actually upgrade this now. All these different things. We don't have the money for them yet. Get some bomber squadrons out of there. Now then, wait for this Radiance battlecruiser and then we will go take our new planet. And now we're first on everything, just about. Second on capital ships, but I assume that's just because ours isn't built yet. Nope, drawn second with somebody else. Energy absorption, amnesty. I don't want that. Detonate antimatter. Targets enemy capital ships for destruction. Well, that is an awesome ability. And I believe this is the ship that Fairy Goose wanted to claim. There we go. And this ship, for now, will be guarding that planet while the colonizing fleet makes its way through here and then into there. And somebody's already placed more money on me. Eventually, it's best to just take the pirate raid, establish your defences, just to wipe out the bounty that the computers put on you.
Stand by for phase jump.
And we are earning money quite quickly now. Get everybody queued up to jump again. Probably gonna have to wipe out a minor faction once we're there. So, is there any upgrades I can buy for this for now? Punitive measures. Multiple heavy laser batteries add more mid-range firepower. Well, that sounds nice. Enhanced preservation, increased armor plate and additional shield projection arrays, more damage repair systems, increased survivability. Now that is awesome. Merchant docks, meteoroid control, grants the starbase the mass distortion ability, which sets enemy ships adrift to prevent them from moving and reduce their ability to acquire targets. Induce reverence. Psionics aboard the starbase compel the planet's population to be more devout to your empire, resulting in a higher max allegiance from the planet when it is under your empire's control. And evangelization nodes. Psi-tech telepathy equipment is installed in your starbase, allowing the broadcast of your empire's culture and repel enemy culture, which is basically what that little green line is at the moment. Okay, everyone's just about in position, nearly. We're just waiting on this slow-ass group here. And let's see. Let's get one more fleet logistics while I remember. Put another bit of money into bidding on that douche.
We answer the call.
Okay, and it looks like we're ready to roll.
I am the Unity's servant.
There is a way so you can have the fleet only move and jump together, but I prefer not to have that because it makes retreats quite deadly for you. Because if your ships can't all move until they're together, that last slow moving ship, that is as fast as your fleet can get its way out of there. Although it does have its advantages for attacking and It's making attacks generally more easy to organise. It makes retreats a nightmare, and it basically it can cost you most of your fleet just for the just for being able to attack a little bit easier. I really want to see the beam thing that fires. There you go. So I mean, when it's at the side here, it can only target with 2 beams. If it's in the center of a fight, it can target multiple ships. Like that guy did just there, fired at the sides. Because these guys have tried to surround us, that plays right into these Illuminator vessels' strength. And although these guys have auto attack on, they also have shield projection on, which basically means it's just going to defend my attack ships, give me a bit more balanced of a fleet. And this has 4 metal asteroids, which is a real bonus. So I think what we're going to do is turn this Malice off auto-cast, because it's wasting all its antimatter on these smaller fights. If we get into a bigger battle, obviously Malice will come in more handy. We will probably put a starbase there. Now think about it, we'll probably build that now. If I have the stuff I need. No, I need more metal. I've just got the metal, there we go, that's lovely. Just because that can be linked to quite a few places to come in and attack from. Level 4 did that? No, he didn't level up again. Lovely. So he should go and auto-colonize now. And then the fleet will kind of rearrange itself. I do like how quickly these starbase ships build. This will be ours any second now. And then we're probably going to pile all of our money into it for now. See if I can get you a look at the actual colonization thing here.
Knowledge acquired.
See that? That's like a pod, I think, that just lands on the surface and establishes the first colony. So,
Insufficient metal.
well, we crapped out on metal already. But we can build metal extractors without metal, which is really nice. Although it's going to take a while for this planet to get on its feet now, it will be quite important. There's not much I can do to this starbase without metal either. But you know what, I think I'm going to end off this episode here. As always, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.